Good morning, All Saints. It's Monday morning, the 8th of February. This is my second take. If you were with me for the first one, I was having some technical difficulties and got distracted. So it is Monday morning. It's good to be here with you this morning on a very cold morning here in Hoboken and wherever you are. I hope that you are well and safe and warm, that you had a restful weekend, good worship somewhere yesterday. Yesterday after church, I spent some time recording a few pieces for our evensong, choral evensong, which will be this Sunday at 4 p.m. on right here on YouTube. I hope you'll join us for that. It's the last Sunday after the Epiphany, and so we are marking that with this service of evensong in anticipation of the beginning of Lent the following Wednesday, on Ash Wednesday. And so it got me in the mind of thinking about the season of Lent and how we have been in almost a perpetual season of Lent since last March. Our last service in person in the church together was on the second Sunday in Lent. So we have almost come full circle and we're not done yet. And I began to think of what that might look like, how I might frame that as a priest, as a preacher, in my conversations with people. And then, as God often does, this morning in the assigned readings for morning prayer, there is the passage from the prophet Isaiah, the 58th chapter, which begins with people saying we fast and we do things, and God, you don't pay any attention to us, and God is like, but you fast while you're also oppressing your workers, so why should I pay any attention to that? And then it gets to some of the most powerful words, I believe, that Isaiah wrote, that I think might be a good way for me and maybe all of us to begin to look ahead to: what does a season of penitence and prayer and fasting look like when we have been in something of a wilderness for almost an entire year? So these are the familiar words that really caught my attention this morning. Begins in the 6th verse of the 58th chapter. Is not this the fast that I choose? To loose the bonds of injustice, to undo the thongs of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free, and to break every yoke? Is it not to share your bread with the hungry and bring the homeless poor into your house, when you see the naked to cover them, and not to hide yourself from your own kin? Then your light shall break forth like the dawn, and your healing shall spring up quickly. Your vindicator shall go before you. The glory of the Lord shall be your rear guard. Then you shall call, and the Lord will answer. You shall cry for help, and God will say, here I am. If you remove the yoke from among you, the pointing of the finger, the speaking of evil, if you offer your food to the hungry and satisfy the needs of the afflicted, then your light shall rise in the darkness and your gloom be like the noonday. The Lord will guide you continually and satisfy your needs in parched places and make your bones strong. And you shall be like a watered garden, like a spring of water whose waters never fail. Your ancient ruins shall be rebuilt. You shall raise up the foundations of many generations. You shall be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of streets to live in. This is the challenge. These are the words that I think I needed to hear this morning. If nothing else, this pandemic has pointed out what that breach is that needs to be repaired, that it has affected, devastated poorer communities and communities of color, the elderly and the sick. And these are the very ones that we are charged with caring for. And so, in the days ahead, as I begin to contemplate Lent beyond Ash Wednesday, these are the words that I'm going to meditate on: that God does not choose outward signs of going through the motions of being a good Christian. God wants us to do the work that is set before us. So that's our challenge for today. Thank you for listening. I look forward to walking the road to the cross with you when Lent does begin. But in the meantime, I hope this week goes well. I look forward to seeing you again on Thursday morning, and blessings to you and those you love and pray for in the meantime.